About to take time off for the holidays? Wait, before you do, make sure that you look back at the year that you just finished and see what worked and what didn't work. If you don't know how to do that, you're in luck. That's what we're talking about. Be sure to watch.
Episode 54 of Soho Insights, brought to you by our sponsors, Parallels, the company behind Plus Control Panel, the control panel you need to use if you host your website anywhere as a small office, home office business. All of our web hosting clients do. And Ovali, where we empower your small office, home office businesses by providing you with web hosting, voice over IP, and web conferencing in one place that speaks your language. Hello, I'm Kathy.
And I'm Jen. In this week's episode, we're talking to the small office, home office business owner, and the episode is about year-end reviews.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, don't know what that means or haven't done one yourself. This is going to be an excellent episode for you to watch because Ovali actually does one every year since I've joined in 2007 at least.
It's the only way you can grow your business.
And it's sometimes a little depressing to look at your numbers and how you've done
as a small business.
As a small business owner, but other times it's very exciting.
Oh,
and
there's so many great things to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's year-end reviews and the idea that you speak to your employees and you say this is what your performance was for this year. And then there's the idea that a business owner goes back and looks at numbers, what they did to get business, and a few other pieces. And so we're going to specifically be talking about a business year-end review, so a business in whole as a whole, and then we're going to talk about marketing year-end reviews, and finish up with a few more niche, very targeted subjects. So it's going to be a really fun episode, and we don't have a special guest on this episode, which is nice because it's the holidays.
Yes.
Quick shout out to our guest that we wanted to have this evening. We were going to do a whole episode about the best bloggers of the year with Sits Girls.
I forgot about that.
Really sad. So shout out to those ladies.
Hello.
They had family commitments, which I totally get.
Yeah, it's
and
kind of that. It's the week of Christmas and
I'm pretty
Hanukkah
sure we're the
and all
only
that.
ones still working now.
Maybe not the only. Hello to Mona. She's out in Duval right now.
I visited
all
her
those
today.
shop owners that are really pushing their last bit of holiday shopping.
I know, it's
so
funny.
Good luck.
I went into Mona. She owns Chic Essentials in downtown Duval, and we're a small town. That's where Ovali is headquartered out of. And we're involved in the small business community there.
You're on the chamber this year, in 2012.
Yeah. And so anyway, I walked in there and Mona was like, almost done. It's almost Christmas.
She's going to celebrate hopefully at the end of the week.
Yeah. I think a lot of business owners will.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting on to...
oh, wait. And if we're shouting out, I'm going to shout out another one. Recommend. It's in Duval. She's been a great client of ours.
This is just Duval
Michelle.
episode.
I know, but they come over and I'm Facebook friends or whatever. So shout out to Michelle and Ty at recommend.biz, I believe.
Well, if you guys, actually, that's a good idea. She has a very good example of a business that isn't necessarily on Main Street that uses Facebook to promote.
She does a very good job.
A service-based business. Recommend does car total repair kind of a thing, and they do a really good job about it.
They do.
And I had one more shout out. I forgot about this. We were thinking that we need to have like a shout out.
I think so because we have so many nice a lot of feedback from people.
Okay, but today I went to the gym, and for me, a good workout is really. I have to have everything aligned perfectly. I have to have the right outfit on, the right shoes. My hair has to be tied back perfectly. It sounds whatever but
works.
In order to have a really good workout, I have to do this. And so I had on my good shoes. I wear Puma shoes with really small soles, and I've been doing this toe lead run.
Oh yes, you were telling people.
Which, by the way, in case any of you are watching, the reason why this relates to what we're talking about is that one of our values here at Ovali is health, and so we prioritize it. And I've not done the best job in prioritizing my health And, well, I mean, here and there I'll go work out, but I'm not as consistent as her, who's my mother and business partner, and my dad, who's our producer and technical director. They work out every morning at 6:30 at Thrive,
our little
small town gym.
It's only like 10 minutes away.
It's Thrive in Duval. So anyway,
oh yeah.
But anyway, so I went to Thrive in Duval today, and I've been using this app. Oh, nuts. I opened up another one. Hold on a second.
You got enough
so it's called Run Keeper, and you can see my run here. It's pretty fantastic. And I don't know if it's free still. Yeah, it says I only ran 61 calories worth, but that's not true because I was on the treadmill. But anyway, I plugged in this routine by For The Glow, and we've talked about her before on the show. But if you go to fortheglow.com, she has this...
Hello, Jennifer.
Yeah, she has this interval running piece, and so I did the interval running schedule with my Run Keeper, and oh gosh, there's one other app I wanted to show you guys.
Too.
So there's one, oh gosh, I keep doing this password protected thing because it's Kelly now. I have to
He's going to crack that. Yeah, he's cracking it.
No, he's not going to. Okay, so the other app is RDIO. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but it's this streaming thing for your music, and it's fantastic. And I know it costs money, so it's not just like Pandora, but it's so worth it, especially when you're running, because you can put your playlist together and have it be something that you actually want to listen to that you can change often. So it's pretty... I really like it. I tested out a few of the streaming services, and RDIO was my favorite one of all. And I blog about it at thecloudmaven.com, by the way. So anyway, that was my shout out to that.
Okay.
It was a very good running day.
Nice.
And I recommend any of you that are doing New Year's resolutions that you check out Run Keeper app and For The Glow, and there's
Body Bag,
Jamie, and a few other places.
Yes.
So anything. Anyway.
So this is the holiday week, basically. Hanukkah starts on Wednesday, and Christmas is coming up this weekend, and our son is coming home, and we're all going to be together, so maybe we can take some pictures too.
Yeah.
Already planning.
Share them with you.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you want to see what our Christmases are like. Next week, actually, is Soho Insights on Leo Laporte.
Yeah, I have a little picture of Twit TV. This, your dad and I watch this religiously now on the weekends. It's so much fun.
You know what else they watch, though? This is like the House of Nerds here. They also watched the Santa Claus movies.
1, 2, and 3.
They watch Pixar movies.
I know. Oh, wait.
Toy Story. My mom's really excited for my son to grow up so that she can watch all the Toy Story movies and everything.
Actually, on the Family Channel, they had Toy Story 1 and 2 on this weekend. Nerd alert. Okay. Anyways. Love it.
Anyway, so the holidays... Leo Laporte is going to be on Monday, and if for anyone that doesn't know who it is, it's Twit TV, and I can't say enough. For any moms out there, I used Roku and had this application on it. It was really nice because when you have to wake up at 3 a.m. for a feeding, nothing is on television.
Apparently it
but
counts.
Twit TV is on.
Roku counts for them, too.
Yeah,
so.
Of course.
Well, I was happy to hear.
Though Leo might not be on live.
Yeah, that's true. He's not on live.
On our show.
Oh, no.
Well, no.
But we'll be talking about him because he's huge in the podcast world, and we take a lot of notes when we watch him.
Well, my favorite show on the Twit TV network was Amber Mac's show.
Oh, yeah, we follow her on
Twit TV or Twit at Night or... This Week in Tech, so it's not like a Twitter show. It's about tech, basically.
Her and Sarah sometimes do stuff, yes. Anyways, lots of great things, and we'll be talking
Monday.
about.
We record every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over at ovaleye.tv/live. And you can follow up with us. We've got now a new Facebook page, if you can show the image. I spent a lot of time on this today.
Okay, all right.
So I put together a behind-the-scenes gallery, and only 18 people like us. So if you go to ovaleye.tv, you can like us and follow up. And we like to be really social with people, so the more you interact, the more fun we have. And we'll definitely start reaching out to people. I watched a Gary Vaynerchuk video about how we got people to watch Wine TV.
We missed that one, dear.
And I was really impressed with it because he's always said it, and I'm going to actually really start focusing on that for ovaleye.tv. That's one of the ways that Ovaleye our Twitter handle for Ovalite, our hosting company, we grew and we've had pretty good conversion is because we actually sit down and we reach out to people. And
I think you've done a very good job.
That was part of one of our marketing look
It's free. It's free.
Well,
Just
Twitter's not free in that you have to spend time on it.
Yeah, you have to spend time.
And that
I
equals
just do
money.
it once in a while. Yes.
Time is money.
Yeah, but you're good at it. You connect. Okay.
Did you want to go over books before we talk about
actually,
Parallels, our favorite sponsor?
Talk about Parallels because our books are part of our list.
Our gifts.
Yeah, our gift
So
list.
we've been talking about gifts over at ovalite.tv.
What we recommend.
The last 2 episodes are our gift ideas for the small office, home office business owner. And the first one was on family. The second one was on health. And tonight's is on knowledge. So these are things that we as a company value. We value family, health, knowledge, and then next week's going to be fun, and that's kind of like a wrap-up of the holidays.
Yeah,
I
but
think
they've
it'll be
already
more
had
New Year's, maybe.
Okay. Yes,
So
New Year's resolutions. That's good.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, we'll talk about that in just a second. But before we get into the gift ideas, we definitely wanted to talk about Parallels, who's our sponsor for
Thank
Soho
you,
Insights.
Parallels.
We absolutely adore this company.
Yes.
They offer our control panel to us. Well, they don't offer it to us. we pay for it. But Parallels provides Ovalite with a control panel that was made for the small business that can't necessarily rely on a design or marketing team to help them set up email addresses, manage hosted applications like their CRM, which is a client relations manager, or do some simple little website maintenance pieces here and there. So the team at Parallels really cares about the end user and takes the time to research products and applications that every small business should need. The control panel is easy to navigate. As you see here, we're looking at the Web Presence Builder, which has actually been updated, and so I'm really excited to talk about that in the upcoming weeks. The navigation tabs are super simple. As you can see here, it's a lot of drag and drop pieces, especially in Web Presence Builder, which is always attractive to a small business owner. And another nice thing for designers is that there is a one button, one push kind of deal for installing WordPress, which can be kind of cumbersome when you're manually installing it. So it should be easy for all business owners to be able to launch their own websites and emails easily, and Parallels Plus Control Panel ensures that every business owner can do that with just a few clicks. So you can head on over to ovalite.tv/parallels to find out more about how Parallels is working to make your small office, home office lifestyle easier.
Wonderful. Let's get into the gifts now. Thank you again, Parallels.
Thank you, Parallels. We really enjoy using your products.
Yes. Okay. So the gifts. Number 1.
So if you queue up the images, because I kind of messed up the order when I put the images in.
Okay, so let's just go by the images.
You can go to pinterest.com/Jennifer Dono, which is me. My name is Jennifer Dono. And I put them all on our ovalite.tv board beforehand. So if you want a sneak peek about what we're talking about, we storyboard over on Pinterest, and it works out pretty well for us. So the first one, this is my Pinterest board.
That's pretty. I like that.
Yeah, and so I have other things other than just Ovalite TV, but if you're into the small office, home office lifestyle, you can follow me.
Okay,
so
this is yours.
This is mine. We've got 10 all together. Bethany Frankel is, oh gosh.
It was good. I read it
this
too.
book. And maybe it was just my age or whatever it is, but I really connected with what she was saying. Not so much about like the damaged past.
No, it's good. Oh, yeah,
but definitely about her, how I love that all roads lead to Rome.
We always like to see how people they reached their success, and she kind of told everything about her lifestyle.
Yeah, we did a show on her actually. She was one of our business icons, which is what Leo Laporte is. He's a business icon that we're talking about next week. At the end of every month, we do one. And so we did hers in September.
Huge viewership
July
on that
or
one.
so. Yeah,
yes.
It was a really successful show for us. And it's because she's just fantastic. A lot of
our target market enjoys her too.
Yeah, home office businesses like her. So the next one, and really recommend listening to that on Audible. But we'll talk about that more.
I like it because she also does it on Audible.
She narrates it, yeah. So the next one, she does not narrate her book on Audible.
I want to read that one. No, I haven't read that.
It bugged me at first that she didn't narrate it, and we also did a Soho Insights business icon.
The number one. That is the number one viewer.
Yeah, it's funny. So anyway, this book was actually, it took a little while to get into it, but it was a lot of insider knowledge into what her family does and how she's been successful. And it talks about who she knows and how she got to be where she is. And I liked that, and like I said, if you listen to her on Audible, it irritates me that when authors don't narrate their own, but her person was good enough, close enough to her that it didn't matter. So Audible is our third one. Audible gift certificate, they just came out with it this year that you could buy it in 3, 6, and 12-month increments.
And next to each of the books that you're reading or you enjoy, you can gift those books.
Yeah, it's a really good idea because Audible allows you to be able to work out or do things around the house and you can still learn
Audible.
New things.
The best way.
Who got us onto Audible?
Your father did.
Who's our producer? He's smiling. He's very smug.
Okay, this is something
Netflix.
you did. Oh.
Yeah, this is not the best image for Netflix, but whatever. So Netflix, we're suggesting this for documentaries as far as knowledge goes.
Some of the best documentaries I found on Netflix because it's so easy to find them too.
Yeah, make sure if you get Netflix, do the instant stream and get something like a Roku box or does Apple TV have it or Blu-ray?
Yeah. Yes.
So there's a lot of different players that you can actually use to bring it into your television, which is always important.
There's a lot of documentaries that are good for small offices. Yeah, home offices. The September issue is like my favorite.
What's it about?
It's all about my notes. What's her name? The Vogue editor. Yes. Wintour. We
did watch the documentary
many times actually because she's so good at being a leader, and I like to see people that are leaders.
Well, it was interesting for a number of reasons. But so the next one is Success Magazine. Another
one of my favorites. I just got the subscription to this finally. I keep buying it.
It's a pretty spendy subscription. It's like $35.
Well, where I shop,
compared to $5.
Yeah, they ran out of them. They only have like one of these magazines where I shop at in Duval. So I just got the subscription through Amazon actually, and it's pretty cheap.
I think the tagline of it too is something like "What successful people read."
Yes. Hello.
Which makes me laugh. The next one.
This one I just read about on.
So you haven't read it?
No, not yet. But I saw the review. You know the Pulse, on the back here. I read Pulse now religiously. I love Pulse, and it has all my favorite things. And in business, has all my great magazines.
You don't read Pulse. It's a RSS feed kind of. It's a blog reader, and you keep up with that.
Anyways,
just wanted to clarify.
Okay, excuse me. That's where I found that book, and it had really great reviews, and it looked like a really good book. So I'm recommending it. I haven't read it yet. It is in our Audible.
Did he write another book we've read?
Good to Great.
Oh, I thought so. Okay, next
one.
A
very good author. And Objectified. One of those two, the other documentary and this one. This one's probably my favorite because it talks about how a brand works and how, like Apple is in there and Johnny, what's his last name, Trace? Ives, who I like. He is in there talking about the Apple products, and it's the best I've ever seen. And it really inspires you to give a good product.
Next one.
Start with Why. We've all read this at Oval Eye, and I recommend it to all our clients too on Facebook, but also right now it's the best book to get you going in your brand.
We asked our producer for a book pick, and he said start with Why, but she had already chosen it. So.
And, okay, all-time favorite book, Steve Jobs. Biography. Get it for your small.
Cried at the end.
Because no, just one part, the boardroom part.
Well, I guess it is kind of a sad story, knowing that he passed away, and now.
Oh, and at the end, he gives the best advice too. You guys if you are a small office, home office, or an entrepreneur, or like me, a chief decision maker, you have to read this book. It is amazing. Okay.
Or maybe you shouldn't. So that we can have a competitive edge over you.
Okay.
Next one. There's one last one. Oh, sorry. I didn't add it. Purple Cow.
Oh, that was right next to you. The book. Oh. I got the book because I love this book too. It used to be my top. This was my top pick. But
that
now
was our producer's pick.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's another good one to read on
Audible. And
Audible.
Gary Vaynerchuk. We didn't put any.
That was not. You had 10 to fill out.
Anyways, there's a bunch of them.
Okay, so moving on. We're going to talk about the year-end reviews. we're going to talk about the business as a whole, marketing, and then go into a couple other pieces. And we'll make it a little faster than normal because it's a big
broad
picture
overview.
concept. Yeah, it's just a big kind of thing that if you're not doing them yet, you really should. And if you are doing them and you want to make them a little bit better or have fun with them, here's some ideas. And I wanted to do a couple shout outs really fast. There's some people that I followed recently on Twitter, and there's a blog called Small Business Bonfire, which I thought was pretty cool.
That up.
And the tagline is where smart entrepreneurs gather to spark change. Are you on my laptop?
What is it called again?
So you can see here, this is the blog, 5 things small business owners do before ringing in the new year. And I liked this one because it had some very concise, targeted tips. Consult your tax advisor, thank your employees. And even if you don't have employees, you guys, there's vendors, partners, all sorts of people you could be thanking. Clean up your files. Oh gosh, I do this quarterly, not at the end of the year. Definitely need to make sure, especially on your desktop, wherever you're backing up to, everything I like to clean up more than just at the end of the year. But that's a good idea. Conduct your year-end reviews with employees, and then make time for goal setting. And we actually are not talking about goal setting this episode because here at Ovali, we still have 2 weeks left to make this an awesome 2011.
Yeah, and we also have the last week of December is when we're going to be doing all.
But if you come back in January, the first week back in January, we're talking about goal setting, and we did a blog post a while ago that'll have the links over to ovali.tv about our brainstorming process, and we still do these brainstorming. This is how we still brainstorm, and again, go to ovali.tv and I'll have the links for that where we use a very specific approach.
Okay.
That's fun.
Always fun.
Yeah. Fun is like we were saying, something we value. So the next one that I wanted to just give a shout out to is another guy on Twitter that I started to find. I don't know if you can pull them up on it's Ovali TV's Twitter account that I talked to. So it's by Startup Nation, and it's 28 small business marketing resolutions for the new year. And I thought this was an interesting article because it's 28 pieces that small businesses are either going to do more of, do less of, quit, that type of a thing. And there's some interesting, more controversial perspectives in here.
Controversial? About what?
There was just one. Where was the one that I found? Stuff about people were gonna just take it out and slash it and do more things differently. It was just an interesting read, and I'll have the link over at ovali.tv. The author of the article is not who tweeted it, but it is. It's by Wendy Kenny.
What?
Over at Startup Nation. And Wendy Kenny, we did email you to be featured in this article, but we were.
Okay.
But anyway, we're going to feature all the people that were in it because it's a really good idea. And then, so those are just the ones that I wanted to highlight quickly as just featured people. So moving on, we wanted to talk about as a business as a whole, when you're looking back and how you spent your money, who you hired, that type of a thing. And SBA.gov, which is a small business administration.
Yeah, they had a good one. That's
still surprised to this day that how many small business owners don't know what SBA is.
One of the first places I went when I started Ovali. You guys have to do that. SBA.gov.
Yeah, so this post is from a couple years back, but I still thought there were some good pieces in here. Actually,
the link you gave us that we researched, I thought had some great stuff on it.
Yeah, you pulled out some pieces, right?
Yes, but you have to show it to me because it's on the paper. That's a blogger marketing.
You said right down here. I like this one.
Focus on your accomplishments. Well, of course, they were very positive too. A lot, it was like pat yourself on the back for the first one. It starts off with the
first one, yeah. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Focus on the accomplishments.
Yeah, but this is actually a really good layout for how you should do this. I liked how it went into the different steps for assess, conduct.
I used some of those.
Evaluate,
I think there's a lot of great things in there.
Yeah, we did our year in review last week. You sent out, Mom did an email to the management team, which is myself and my father. It's a family business. We have people outside of our family involved in Ovali now.
And they'll get another email.
Yeah, but as I was saying, the numbers are definitely going to be much better next year. But it's good to look at those, even if they are not exactly what you wanted them
whatever
to be.
They are.
It was nice.
There's a lot of good things that we did and a couple things that we need to improve on.
Yeah, you were saying that assess your core activities is a big thing. Then, like we were saying, evaluate. It breaks it down into different steps. Evaluate your employees' strengths and failures.
Mm-hmm. They
Did
really...
you do that for ours?
No, I did not do that one. I did the next one, budget and cash flow.
I'm sure that's something that's on the top of all of your lists.
Yes.
To look at that.
And then taxes are a big... We started an LLC this year, so that one will be a big one for us.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different fun things to look at in that, and I'll include the link over at ovaleye.tv. So that was just a quick overview. If you haven't done that before, to start doing it, like we were saying, focusing on your accomplishments, whether you reached a big sales goal or maybe you got a new accountant, whatever it is, celebrating.
Yeah, yes, and marketing. If something clicked with marketing, do it again.
Marketing yet?
All right.
Assessing your core activities, evaluating your employees, and then checking that cash flow, how your budget was, is something you can do. So going on to the marketing piece, which is big for small business owners because we need people to come in.
Boy, and you don't have a big budget for small businesses, especially the ones that are at home. You know, the home offices. You've got to figure out a way to do a lot of free things.
So we don't have a big budget, but I also think as a small business, small office, home office business, this is the way that we throw our money down the drain the most often.
Yes,
maybe that's just for our company.
I would say if you guys are not on video, you better be in 2012 because that is the future of marketing.
Stop giving our secrets away.
Okay.
Just kidding. You guys should be on video.
Don't be on video.
No. Be on video because it's a good thing. That's one of the things that we look back at was what's effective for us. And as a home office, home office business that cannot compete in Google AdWords for hosting, we're in web hosting. And you guys know there's GoDaddy, HostGator, 1-in-1. You've got a lot of people that choose from.
Don't tell them all of them.
But, I mean, hopefully people come to us. And the reason why people come to us is because of our customer relations.
They actually find us in Google searches. So I'm amazed at that right there.
Well, yeah, you have to focus on organic SEO, which we don't do that great of a job of. But that's one of the things that we're going to be focusing on. That's something that we found out about based on our year-end review of marketing. Twitter has worked really well for us. Again, like Mom was saying, it's a free service, but you really just have to be able to spend time and knowledge, know how to do it.
If we can do it, you can do it.
And even if you don't know how to do it, there are a lot of people out there that you can pay to teach you how to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're one of those people that just needs someone to sit next to you and figure it out, it's always helpful. Mm-hmm. But you were talking about, there's a few resources that we looked at for marketing, and we'll include it over at ovaleye.tv, but looking at what money you pay out. A lot of small businesses don't pay out too much money as far as advertising goes, but there is some like graphic design and pieces like that.
Well, websites. I remember the first time that we did a project website, for clients, I thought, wow, I can actually promote that they get to take this off their taxes, deduct it because it's marketing. And it says website development or website branding, whatever it said on the tax papers. But it's very important that you deduct those things.
Oh my gosh, that's actually a good reason for why we should start certain website projects before the end of the year.
So there's a lot you can do. Ovaleye.com, by the way.
Yeah, so anyway, keep that in mind, too, that marketing is a write-off.
Yes, it is.
It's an expense. So going on, customer retention is another one that I think a lot of businesses don't look at, is once you focus on trying to bring people in.
And then you got to keep them.
Yeah, I got to keep them. And again, what we've found that's worked for that primarily is video.
Video, newsletters.
The newsletter
are big because it keeps you in front of them and they get to hear what's going on with your business.
But again, this is going to vary, and this is why year-end reviews are so important, because we could tell you what works well for us, but we're a web hosting company that our business model is monthly memberships or annual membership kind of a model. And most businesses don't operate on that type of a model. You're more one-on-one or even retail-based. So what works for us might not work for you guys. So you need to make sure that you trial and error it out, right?
Facebook is another one. If you're not on, your business isn't on Facebook, you should be on there for 2012. Okay, let's go to the next one.
So the next one we wanted to talk about is bloggers. So for year-end review for bloggers, so if you're a home-based business that blogs and you get ads, you get your revenue through ads or from sponsored posts, etc., There's a few things that people have recommended. What post did you look at for this bloggers one? I don't think I brought it up on my laptop.
I don't remember.
Well, we'll have the link over at ovaleye.tv. But
Oops.
these are some simple things that you can do that I've actually started to do for the cloudmaven.com.
I thought they were really good.
But
one of them is create a list of the top people, companies that have impacted your industry. Another one is best and worst list of the year, and that can be of anything.
This is talking about a year-end. These are blog post ideas.
But this will get traffic going, and you want those traffic because you want the numbers so you can advertise.
But the big thing here is I like this first point is check the design, your branding, easy navigation, regular updates, SEO, and your call to action. Because I was looking, if you can bring up my laptop, I was looking at my blog posts or my blog and thinking I really need to redo this. There's a lot of things that I don't like about it, but there's also pieces that are just whatchamacallit? What's that called when conversion issues with conversions and click-throughs, because I've got ads on here that I'm actually tracking, like the Oval Eye one, and why isn't that doing better in conversion, things like that, that can all be fine-tuned, and especially copy, like your about page. I've been reading this fantastic book that one of my, I'll have to have it over at ovaleye.tv. I'll do a blog post about it. It's on copywriting. I feel like the businesses that do well online are the ones that are good at copywriting. Mm-hmm. And we've got to be really good at copywriting.
Okay. Well, you're in charge of that for next week, too.
Yeah, so bloggers do a year-end review, too. And like Mom was saying, even bringing it into reviewing your year is
put it
beneficial.
on your blog, too. Put everything you can to promote your own self, and what you've learned throughout the year. I'm going to be doing that next week.
Doing internal links. That's really nice. If you create a blog post and you talk about what you accomplished in a year, and then adding links to prior blogs or whole categories too, where you can say, oh, go find out about it here.
We're also beginning to get quite a few nonprofit. We give a great break too for our hosting.
So we've talked about whole business review. Marketing review, we talked about if you're a blogger, and now we're talking about for nonprofits.
Nonprofit, there's a lot out there for all of you if you Google search or Bing search. Bing is number 2 now, apparently. So there's a lot out there for nonprofits, and especially this review. What do we Google and review or
we
whatever?
Found this one over Twitter. And it's thefoundationcenter.org.
Oh, yeah. This one was very
There's
good.
a lot of whoever this author is.
And we need to give this to our nonprofits.
She was fantastic. What's her name? Her name is Kelly Hill. She's a principal of Nexus Research Group. So shout out to her. She did a really nice, there's 2 blog posts that we'll have over at ovaleye.tv. And you could either have a nonprofit or be a member of a nonprofit. I know that Oval Eye is on the board of Duval Chamber of Commerce, so things like that you can actually look back and maybe suggest to other board members that we review and make sure that we do better in the new year.
Yeah, there's a lot out there, like I said. Okay, so some of the things what were the number ones?
Well, this really focuses on if you met your fundraising targets, and I really like this point, was your board or directors fully engaged in the governance of your organization? And
this one too. Does your organization have the right staff and volunteers in place to help accomplish that mission? And I've talked to a few of the nonprofits of our clients too. They were saying that was a big important part too. The board has to push the mission. So.
Yeah, well, okay. We just talked about the business as a whole, marketing, bloggers, and this nonprofit piece. But the important thing is that if you don't have a system in place for tracking the return on investment, you're going to be sorry.
So start doing that
when
now.
you do the year-end review, there are certain things that we didn't have in place to see, how well we did. If we purchased a sponsorship, if we didn't have a system, we didn't make sure, hey, we really need to know how many people clicked on the page, that type of a thing. If we didn't ask for it specifically, we didn't have any way of seeing exactly what our conversion rate was.
Conversion rate is number 1.
So anyway, looking at how you track your return on investment is really important, whether it be, having an employee or with marketing, or even if you're in a space, a retail space, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
we're going to have all there's a lot more nonprofits.
Well, just a couple things that we do apart from this. We do our 5 things to do more of, 5 things to do less of, 5 things.
Oh, yeah.
What else to stop doing?
Stop doing. We have a few of those.
What's your
to
biggest
stop doing.
one to start doing in the new year?
Organize the
Based off
billing
of
and
this year. Yeah.
billing, getting organized with, because we're hosting clients, so we have a lot of clients all over the world, or United States at least, and I need to be organized as good as possible.
You know, I was thinking
There's a lot of things to help me with that too. A lot of free things.
Well, one of the things I was thinking we should add more of is in-person networking events.
Yes. You know, I miss that because we're in the office all the time.
Well, it kind of ties into our knowledge theme for this evening in that a lot of these books, people go and speak at these events, and so it would be learning new things and also connecting with people in person versus just online.
Well, we're hoping to go to the Parallel Summit at the beginning, and then...
None of these people are going.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. And the Power Chicks. I want to do more of that.
With Power Chicks,
Yes.
but they're just in Seattle.
So, I'm in Seattle. I need to go there too.
Oh my gosh!
There it is.
Before we end, I did a blog post today for Power Chicks International, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys went over there and checked it out. It's just powerchicksinternational.com, and I'll have a link over at ovali.tv. I also added a post over on my personal blog about it today. And it's commenting on mommy wars. There's a lot being covered in the media about whether or not moms make good entrepreneurs, and why we're not rising to the next level, etc.
Yeah, there's been some stuff in the morning news that it's I shake my head about women-owned businesses and how they're not number one and all. Whatever, we'll go on. We'll have to do a whole show on that sometime.
I don't want to add any more to it.
Positive,
Go to
happy thoughts.
powerchicksinternational.com to find out more about what I wrote about. But otherwise, this was a fun episode.
I wanted to also say that we went to Costco, Tracy and I, yesterday for Christmas stuff, and I found one of my favorite wines. I'm giving a shout out to Novelty Hill.
Hold it still.
Okay. Novelty Hill, that's by us, but it's actually just the name of it. Stillwater Creek Vineyard, and I love these. I still haven't gone to their winery though, so I need to do that. That's the wine we are drinking tonight. And next week we'll be on Leo Laporte, who is one of our favorite people, and we...
You can find this episode over at ovali.tv. Our producer is getting antsy.
And?
Search for us on iTunes by looking up Soho Insights, and you'll find us. You can get us on your iPhone. You can also find us at Blip TV /
You know, that's all over our Google search.
I adore Blip TV.
Yes.
I love their viewing experience, and I hope to do more with them soon. We're on YouTube, too. We've just started to do clips on youtube.com/Soho Insights, and we do like 2-minute bites of stuff. And
I like that.
I post them over to Ovali TV's Facebook page, so check us out over there.
Yes. So, happy holidays to everybody this week. Hello, are you drinking now? Are we going to cheers? And happy holidays. This is Kathy and Jen with Soho Insights. And check us out at ovali.tv.